What's up, guys? Welcome to Extreme Daily Drivers. We are always balling on budget and
wrenching in the garage.
And today we're going to kick off kind of a breakdown of what we're going to do to the Miata. This is going to be a lot of talking in this video. There's not going to be a lot of action, but I promise you it should be worthwhile. And then next week we're going to get right in and start tearing this thing apart. So real quick, Kelly and I have kind of broken down what we want to do to the car, and we're going to go through them individually with you guys. I'd love to hear your comments, your feedback. You guys know Miatas. And I want to hear your recommendations, because there's a lot of stuff on here that we aren't sure what we're going to do with it.
And I don't know what half of this stuff is. So.
Right, doesn't know what half of the stuff is, but she will by the time the car's done.
I'm looking forward to learning.
So as we go through, please leave a comment below if you have a suggestion on a part that we should be doing, or maybe a direction in which you'd like to see the car go. Alright, so you see the list here. This isn't actually in the order in which we're going to do everything. However, some of it is. So the first thing you see on here are brakes, and you might be saying to yourself, why are you worried about brakes? You don't even have an engine yet. But the problem with the brake situation is that we'd really like to wash this thing. I mean, it's a disaster, and I can't really do it.
There are no brakes.
Yeah, we can't really safely do it in the garage, so we need some sort of braking so that we can put it in the driveway and really go to town on it. So it may be the first step we're going to go. We got to get the e-brake working, and obviously we're going to go ahead and replace rotors and pads. Now I know there are a lot of big brake kind of options for this car, including like just using the stock Mazda brakes. This is a 91, so I know in 94 they made a big jump in rotor and caliper size, and then I think in 99 they did as well. My only concern about going with bigger OEM brakes is that it's going to add weight, and I don't know that's 1000% necessary. So if any of you have done that upgrade, I'd love to hear about it and give me your feedback. But for the most part, we're going to go with basically standard rotors, standard pads in the back. When I say standard, I mean like a ceramic pad in the back. We're going to go with stainless steel brake lines, and we are going to do more of an aggressive pad up front. I've used a million brands in the past, and I've never really found a brand that I've fallen in love with. So if you guys have a brand that you recommend for the Miata, please put it in the comments below. But yeah, one of the first videos we're going to do is definitely going to be on brakes. Alright, moving on to engine. So engine is actually something we've made a decision on, and we're not changing our mind on it. So if you guys want to see a K swap, if you want to see another V8 swap, if you want to see an LS swap, if you want to see, I don't know, some stupid swap, you're not going to see it on this channel, man, because we're not doing it. I absolutely love the 1.8 liter engine that came with the Miata from 94 on. It is a brilliant, brilliant engine, and it is basically indestructible unless you're a moron and you overboost it. So that's the engine that we're going to be going with. And I actually got a really good deal on one coming up in a future video, so look forward to that. Moving on to transmission. I need to find a transmission. I don't know if you guys know this, maybe everyone does already. The 1.6 and the 1.8 transmissions are basically the exact same. So we're going to find one that makes sense, one that'll work, one that'll shifts, and obviously we're going to be changing out the clutch. Probably the flywheel. I'm not sure if we're going to go with a light and flywheel. I'd love to hear your feedback, because I've never had a light and flywheel before. They're a little bit pricey. Yeah, go ahead and leave feedback if you have a light and flywheel, if you recommend it. If you don't recommend it, let me know. But yeah, clutch and flywheel, that'll be coming up after transmission. Alright, moving on to one of my favorite things I want to do this car is a roll bar. As you guys know, I had a Miata back in the day, and I never put a roll bar in it. It's something I wanted to do the whole time, and I just never got around to it. I wound up selling the car before I got the roll bar put in. But we're going to go with a hard dog roll bar, you know that. And what I really want to do is contact them and see if I can get my hands on a Hard Dog Extreme single hoop. So back in the day, style bars were really popular on Miatas, and Hard Dog didn't have anything that mimicked a style bar, and so they came up with this idea to do this thing called the Extreme bar, and it looks like a pretzel. It's like a kind of a double hoop thing. They still make it, but it comes in the double. But back in the day when they first rolled it out, it came in a single, and I love the way that thing looks. It's a little on the obnoxious side. And what's awesome about it is it still works with a soft top, with the glass rear window, and it also would work with a hard top if that's ever something we considered in the future. So that's what I want to do. I'm going to reach out to Hard Dog, see if they can still make us one, see if they still have the jig, and if they can't, well, I guess we'll go with the Extreme. But excited about that installation, and that's going to come sooner rather than later because the car is all torn apart now. Doesn't make any sense to put it all together and then tear it all apart in order to install the roll bar. So that'll be coming sooner rather than later, and after that, we're going to go right to the convertible top, which I'm also looking forward to because I had it replaced twice on my previous car, and I hear it's a nightmare to do, but it should be really easy. In theory, it should be easy. So between the two of us, we should be able to handle that pretty darn easily, and I'm excited to do it. We're definitely going to do a vinyl top with a glass rear window. Back in the day, I had one. I can't remember the make. Who made it? It was a real nice top. So if you guys have recommendations, I know there's some on Amazon. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know if you recommend a good vinyl top with a glass rear window. Hopefully one that doesn't zip too. One that just kind of like folds down.
Also had the rear window defoggers on it.
Yeah, it had the rear defogger on it too. Although I cut those wires like by accident, pretty darn quick. But anyway, yeah, hit me up in the comments. Let me know if you recommend a top, and yeah, give me some direction on that. All right, guys, moving on to wheels and tires. We are going to do some sort of 15-inch wheel. Definitely like a 15 by 8, something like that. I have my idea on what I want to use. I don't want to give it away just yet. But they're not going to be JDM or anything like that. They're going to be bought on the budget wheels, but good stuff. So
it's going to be a classy car.
It is. It's going to be classy with a little bit of attitude, but not obnoxious. But a little bit. We got to have a little bit of attitude. So Kelly and I have talked about wheel and tire packages. I've showed her one that I really like. She agreed with it.
I did. Yeah.
So for tires, just to let you go, for tires, we're probably going to go with the Nitto, the next gen. I have them on the XB, and they're fantastic. I mean, this car is not going to be, we're not drag racing this thing or anything crazy. We just need a good all-around tire. We live in Florida. We get a ton of rain here. Something that's decent in the rain. Something that's good with wear. Something that's quiet. And something that's pretty cheap.
Yeah.
So the Nittos are a great possibility. So we're probably going to go with those. If you do have some wheel and tire combos that you recommend, though, hit us up in the comments. I'd love to hear about it. And maybe, who knows, maybe we'll change our mind on it. Alright guys, so for lowering this thing, we're going to do coilovers. I'd love to hear your input on those. In my old Miata, I had KYB AJX, like 8-way adjustable struts, and flying Miata springs. And to me it rode incredibly rough. It's one of the reasons I got rid of the car, is I didn't want to have to redo the suspension all over again. But we're definitely going to do coilovers. Let me know what your feedback is. We're not going to go crazy low. But we definitely want a solid drop, and we want a really good ride.
I don't want to scrape on anything when I'm driving.
Yeah, we don't want to scrape on anything. The Miata doesn't really scrape all that much, thank goodness. But yeah, we want something solid, something that'll perform, because we do plan on taking this to an autocross track. So hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you recommend. But that'll be a big one for this car. So we're not going to chintz out on it. All right, guys, moving down to front bumper. I'm going to move through these next couple pretty quick because pretty straightforward. Front bumper, passenger fender, headlight lids, rear finishing panel. So for the front bumper, I'm going to go OEM, or we're going to go OEM. Recently I was talking to my painter Randy, and he recommended the Racing Beat Stage 2, which actually was the front end that I always wanted on my older Miata. But man, they're $570. They are awesome, but man, it's a little pricey.
We're falling on a budget here.
Yeah, we're falling on a budget. I mean, if we can't find anything remotely close to what we want, it's a possibility, but yeah, man, it's pretty expensive. So we'll see. Well, we plan on doing some sort of lip on the bottom. I'd love to hear your feedback on that. Should we get something aggressive? Should we get something mild? On my old Miata, I had a mild, the Mazda OEM black lip on the bottom that had those little 2 scoops. So we're gonna do something like that, more than likely with this car. But let me know what you guys think. Moving on to passenger fender, pretty straightforward. We got to hit up some junkyards. We got to get on Facebook Marketplace. We got to get on OfferUp. We got to find a passenger fender. Headlight lids, we need those. I should say that we're going to do the headlight upgrade for these cars, which I also did on the Prelude. Instead of using the sealed headlight, we're going to go ahead and do the conversion, probably the E-codes for the H4 bulb. So we'll do that. Finishing panel. Probably going to go with R-Speed on that, rspeed.net. They offer one for $190. It needs to be painted. And unless I can find a Mariner blue one somewhere or something like that we can paint for a decent price, it's really hard to find, then we'll probably go with the R-Speed one. if you have the R-Speed one, let me know. They say it's better than stock. I would love to know if it truly is. So leave a comment if you have the R-Speed finishing panel. So when it comes to paint, Kelly really likes this paint.
I do, yeah. When Brandon first sent me the picture of this, when it was in the garage or in the barn, I love this paint, and I love the color, and I'm hoping we can work some magic on it and restore it.
Yeah, so I'll be honest with you, I've never been a fan of this color.
I wouldn't normally either. I don't know. There's something about it. It's just different.
It's your car. We're gonna make it as good as we can. So if you guys don't know, Miatas come single stage paint, except for the bumpers and the finishing panel. They actually have a base coat, clear coat on them. The nice thing about single stage paint is that although it gets dull and faded like this, it actually come back pretty easily. So one of the first videos that we're going to be doing is trying to restore this paint to somewhat of an acceptable appearance. I think it can be done. I have a pretty solid background in detailing, and I think we can restore this and bring back most of its luster. It's not going to look brand new, but I think it can get acceptable. At some point we will do a respray with Surratt Performance Garage. The guy painted the Prelude. The guy just painted the front bumper on the XB. So that'll come at some point, but my hope is that we can get this looking decent enough to drive around for a little while and then finally get it to paint. Alright guys, we're getting to the home stretch here. Intake, header, cat back. So with this build that we're doing, this is going to stay a naturally aspirated build for a little while. This is Kelly's car. She needs to get used to driving it. She's never actually driven stick, so she's got to learn how to do that. So we're not looking at, 400 horsepower of the wheels right out of the gate. Maybe at some point we'll get there, but it's not going to be right away. So what we're going to do right away is we're going to take baby steps getting there, take the stock engine, make it as fun to drive as possible. So we're going to do intake, header, catback. Now my old Miata, I had the Racing Beat intake, I had Racing Beat header, and I had Racing Beat catback with a Fly Miata high flow catalytic converter. And I think we're going to do the exact same thing. Over the last 15 years, not much has come out that I see that is better performance-wise or sound-wise or look-wise than the Racing Beat Trio. So if you guys know of something that is, please hit me up, let me know. Obviously the Racing Beat intake does have some flaws in the fact that it is right by the header, so it's the hot side of the engine. However, I know it does add horsepower, and it sounds awesome, and I know the Racing Beat exhaust sounds awesome. So we're not looking for a Honda fart can obnoxious with this car. We're looking for mellow, top-down driving, with a little bit of attitude. So it's going to take a lot to sway me from us not buying those three items. But yeah, that's what we're going to do there. Moving on to steering wheel. I'm going to let Kelly pick the steering wheel out. Whatever you want, we'll make happen. But yeah, we're definitely going to swap out the OEM steering wheel because it's just so dated. And on my Miata, I had a Momo tuner wheel, which was pretty sweet. I think you got it for me for birthday or
Yeah,
something.
I remember that. Yeah.
Easter?
Yeah,
some sort of gift.
holiday. Yeah.
Back when we used to give like $400 gifts for Memorial Day or something. Oh, here's your Memorial Day gift. Alright guys, we're getting ready to wrap this up, and it's a good thing because it is like 95 degrees in this garage right now.
I should get used to this, right?
Yes. But yeah, seats and the radiator. So with the seats, I would love some aftermarket seats, but I think what we're going to do is we're going to keep these OEM ones. I might have to find a better driver's side seat because the bolster is torn in here. But we're going to wrap them with a leather upgrade. Unless I can find two seats that look really, really good, that's what the plan is. My old Miata, I had stock seats that actually dyed with Duplicolor fabric dye. Turned out great, lasted years and years and years. And we'll be doing some of that to the interior of this car once we start to clean it. But I've seen some leather seat covers that look amazing on Amazon, so I think we're going to give those a shot. If you have any experience, guys, please let me know. Like I said, I'd love to put some Buddy Club seats in here. But again, there's a price point, there's a comfort situation that we have to consider. So for right now, we're going to stay with OEM with some leather covers. So let me know what you think about that. And lastly, radiator. Now there are a ton of radiators on the aftermarket now. There's so many options. So let me know if you think it's worth it going with a Mishimoto. I don't think I'm saying that right. Like a dual core Mishimoto aluminum radiator. I know Mazda Miata carries one Cobalt. Is that it? For like $200, aluminum radiator. Should I just go OEM plastic, which is what I had in my old one? Should I do the cooling reroute? That's another thing. On my previous Miata, I never had issues with cooling, ever. And it was supercharged. But I know they have this cooling reroute kit. It's a little expensive. It's like $200 from what I've seen. Let me know if that's worth doing. And, maybe we'll consider it if there's enough money. Alright guys, so that pretty much is wrapping up our ideas for this car. As you guys can tell, there is going to be some budget stuff, but there is also going to be some stuff like the Racing Beat stuff that's not budget. We're going to wind up spending $1,000 on like exhaust. So let me know what you guys think of that. Let me know if we're spending the money in the right places. So our goal for this build is to do it for, ready for this?
$6,000.
$6,000. We want to do everything on this list for $6K, and that includes the purchase of the car. I think we can do it. I've roughly.
We're so good.
Yeah, we're off to a great start with a $200 car. So yeah, I think we do it for $6K, and I think the car will be worth that and more when we're finished. That's what's so awesome about it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let me know if you guys think it's possible. And that's including paint. I mean, that's including a lot of stuff on here. So, yeah, $6,000, and that's going to be a hell of a build for $6,000. So
yeah, it's going to look amazing.
let me know what you guys think down in the comments, and yeah, we'll see you next week with actual working on the car. I promise.
Yeah.
And no more just videos of us talking.
Yeah, nobody wants to see that.
Nobody wants to see that. Thanks so much for watching, guys. See you next Monday. Remember, Miata Mondays every single Monday. Hit that like button and subscribe.
Subscribe.
See you later, man.
See ya.